So while they fight for second, Ken Schrader continues to hold the lead. Just past 125 miles of the 44th Daytona 500, you're watching NASCAR on NBC. Ken Schrader leads the Daytona 500 over Jerry Nadeau and Sterling Marlin, Ryan Newman, and Rusty Wallace. UPS delivers our laps led board today. Schrader has been out front more than anyone else. Matt Kenseth leading 4 laps, mostly under caution after the only yellow of the day so far. Bill Weber.
Well, Alan, Ken Schrader continues to lead the parade around the Daytona International Speedway, and one characteristic about Schrader, he loves to have fun in a race car, so normally he's very chatty. Not today. Good car, quiet driver, just a little tick tight coming off of turn 4.
I don't think there's much humor in Schrader right now because, Bill, he has a chance to win the Daytona 500. He is all business inside that 36 car.
You know, we've talked about new school and old school drivers. Ken Schrader knows a lot of people don't think he can get it done at age 46. He feels like he's still very capable of winning anytime he straps into the race car, and he would like nothing better than to prove that to the world by winning the sport's biggest race. It's a funny thing about guys like Schrader and Michael Waltrip who are jovial outside the race car. People don't think they take their racing seriously.
How much tape he's got on the front of that car, BP. There's a lot of tape on the nose of that 36 Pontiac right now. Which is also helping the car handle because it's giving a little bit more downforce in the front, but not much opening.
That is a huge advantage if you can get away with it. The less tape you can run on the nose of the car, basically the faster it will go.
Speaking of old school, 45-year-old Rusty Wallace running in 5th place now in his 20th try in the Daytona 500. He says this year he'd like it to be his turn to win it.
It's been about time. You know, I think I'm deserving of it. I think the team's deserving of it. And I think, you know, Dale went almost 20 times before he got his. And I love to win the Daytona 500. I feel like I've worked for it a whole life, and I feel like we're a worthy candidate.
And they are. There's no doubt about it. Rusty Wallace has been to Daytona. He's been on his roof in Daytona. He's been on his roof at Talladega. Dave Burns.
And Benny, they're very confident down here right now in the 2 pits. I just talked with Billy Wilburn, his crew chief, new crew chief this year, and he told me that they anticipated that the track would be a little bit loose today, so they've left him tight. In other words, he came into the pits last time, his car was tight. They didn't loosen him up too much. They kept him pretty much the same way he was, and the car is getting better and better. He is working with Ryan Newman, the rookie, to try to draft through the front and to stay in front, and it's working well so far.
Just past the 150-mile mark of the Daytona 500. Rusty Wallace chasing victory in a great American race. Kevin Harvick has come back from some early damage. He runs in the top 10 as well.
The 44th Daytona 500 is brought to you by Autotrader.com. New or used, buying or selling, it's the ultimate in automotive classifieds. By Dodge, you can take life as it comes or you can grab life by the horns. Dodge. By Stacker 2, the world's strongest fat burner. Burn fat, crush cravings, and supercharge your energy. And by Napa Auto Parts. Napa, we keep America running.
Ken Schrader leads the 44th running of the Daytona 500, heading up a 7-car lead draft. Schrader, Jerry Nadeau, Sterling Marlin, Ryan Newman, Rusty Wallace, Kevin Harvick, and Bobby Labonte. Now rounding out that lead group. Wasn't it just a little while ago we heard Labonte was worried about his car? Dave, things seem to be a lot better now.
He's running a lot better. In fact, the vibration is gone. He's a little bit tight off of turn 2, but Jimmy Makar, his crew chief, said to him, maybe you just got in some dirty air, made it feel like your car was really out of sorts. They don't think it is. They think they might have not the same problem as their teammate Tony Stewart, and he has gone back to the front.
You know, these guys keep talking about pushed or tight or whatever. Once again, we have an illustration to show you exactly what we're talking about. Let's go inside our race car. If we go down in the corner, the green line is the preferred line. Now go inside and see what the driver's going through. He turns that steering wheel, and look how much effort he put into turning it, but the car will not turn. You see as he comes off the corner, he drifts up the racetrack. That's a little bit exaggerated, but that's what we're talking about by tight or push.
I don't know if that's exaggerated or not here, BP. That looks about right.
So when he says tight, he's not just talking about what it's like when it's time to pick up the dinner check.
Exactly.
His wallet is closed tight.
BP buys dinner a lot. I got to give him credit on that.
He buys dinner for you?
Yeah, all the time. You know that, Alan?
BP, we got to talk.
Jeremy Mayfield in the 19 car driving for Ray Evernham this year. Right behind their pole sitter, Jimmy Johnson. They're back in the 27th position.
Matt Kenseth, 17 car, black and gold at the bottom of the track. He was the leader when we went back in the restart. And that was back at lap 27. He has fallen way into the field. 28th place right now.
See Jeff Green and Kyle Petty in the 45 car going by Jeff Green. What about the 48 car, Bill? What about a pole sitter?
Well, most of the kids here today, Benny, are out of school. This 26-year-old kid is going to school today. He's learning some lessons on the track. As far as the handling of the race car, still just a little tight. I talked to Chad Knaus. He said it was tight. Then they pitted, tried to loosen it up a little bit. It was tight and getting tighter. So now they're going to try and loosen up the 48 car when rookie Jimmy Johnson pits in about between 10 and 15 laps.
All right, Bill, thanks.
I'll tell you what, those pit stops are going to be important. You know, it looks like these pit boxes on pit lane are huge, but when you have 40 cars coming at the same time and you're dodging guys, changing tires and things like that, these pits are tight, and you've got to be so careful getting in or out, especially so you don't hit a tire or another car.
And we saw the caution flag, and all these guys made a pit stop. We'll see a bunch of cars pit on the green flag at the same time as well. Let's go down the pits and Matt Yoker.
Well, Benny, just to add further on what Wally was commenting on about pit road, earlier in the race, the 97 car, Kurt Busch, slid right on through his pit in what was Tony Stewart's pit. The number 77 team, which had the first option to moved there. If Tony was still there, there might have been some bad news for the 20 team. Luckily, no car was there, but anything can happen down here.
And pit road is a dangerous place. Make no mistake about it.
And another thing is, getting these cars down to the slow speed you need for pit lane speed is very, very difficult. These cars are hard to slow down.
From 190 miles an hour, no less. Pit stops are coming up shortly, so let's take a break. We'll be back for the visits to the pit lane. Ken Schrader leads the Daytona 500. The 44th Daytona 500 being run on a glorious Florida afternoon before some 170,000 plus fans. Talked about pit road being a dangerous place. One of the safety innovations NASCAR has made since the end of last season, requiring everyone who goes over the wall on pit road to wear a helmet and a fire suit.
That is a great idea to see the Goodrich crew. And here's the reason why. This was at Homestead last year. Ward Burton starts to leave his pits. He makes contact with Casey Atwood and goes right through Ricky Rudd's pit, hitting 3 guys and injuring all 3 guys. Watch this. John Bryan, Bobby Burrell, but luckily all 3 of those guys are back at the racetrack pitting that 28 car this week with helmets on.
Good move. And they are getting ready for green flag pit stops. Everyone was last on pit road under caution at lap 23, about 55 laps on fuel. So we ought to see the leaders coming in the next 4 or 5 laps.
See the white car there, Shauna Robinson. The leaders have just gone by her and put her lap down along with Stacy Compton.
And in this traffic the leaders are going through, Bobby Labonte's taken advantage. He's just moved up to 4th around Ryan Newman and Rusty Wallace.
Well, not so fast.
He was at the start-finish line last time. How about that?
But he got hung up behind Stacy Compton in the 14 car.
He mentioned that Mike Wallace was on pit road a while ago. They changed the battery on the 33 car. He's back out, but he's 5 laps down to the leader. Mike Skinner running on 7 cylinders. In the 4 car, he's now 2 laps down in 40th spot. Bill Weber.
Look for Ken Schrader to pit next time. His car is a little loose when he's in front, and I talked to Newmore's crew chief. I said, the longer you go on those tires, you're going to get a little loose, aren't you? He goes, nope. When he was in traffic, he was tight. When he's out front, he's loose. Also out front, using a little more fuel. Ken Schrader should pit next time. When he gets on here, he'll have a big advantage. He should have very little pit road traffic. Let's see who follows him.
And we see him waving to Jerry Nadeau, and that's a signal. I'm going to make a pit stop next time by. Now, will Nadeau follow?
And how do you adjust the car for that? If you're out front, you're loose, and if you're in traffic, it's tight. So what do you do?
New told him to stay out front.
Yeah.
And he comes in, and no one comes with him.
Wow. His teammate Johnny Benson will come in behind. Schrader has to slow down.
Four tires, guys. Good and smooth. Let's compete here.
Where that orange cone is on the upper left is where the pit road speed limit begins. They have to be at 55 by then. Dave?
Johnny Benson's car has been tight all day. It remains tight. They're going to make a chassis adjustment to try to fix that condition. 4 tires for Benson. Up to Bill.
Now this will be a 4-tire stop in fuel, and they're going to make a slight air pressure adjustment to account for him being out front. Remember, he's a little loose. That means the back end of the car wants to get away from him in the turns. 4-tire stop. Ken Schrader goes back out. Will he be able to get a drafting partner?
Johnny Benson goes with him. Now Jerry Nadeau, black car on the left, is the leader. Shauna Robinson's in the white car on the right, a lap down, but Sterling Marlin is getting a draft from her.
I tell you what, she's not a lap down right now. She has repassed the leaders with help from Sterling Marlin, and Marlin takes the lead. Here comes Ryan Newman. Rusty Wallace is in the pits. Dave?
Rusty Wallace's teammate Ryan Newman wanted to come in too, but it was too early. Ryan could run about 5 more laps than Rusty on fuel. He had no choice but to come in and see if anyone could come in with him. He is alone on pit road. Will not have a drafting partner when he goes back out. 4 tires full of fuel, wedge adjustment. He was still a tick tighter than they wanted him to be.
Boy, that's going to be tough for Rusty, especially if this pack catches him when he's by himself. They will just blow by him.
Now it's important for Schrader and Wallace that the race stay green until everyone else has made their pit stop. If the caution comes out now, they're going to be trapped behind.
Now here comes the pack, and they are running, and they're running fast.
And there you see Rusty Wallace, and here comes Kenny Schrader, the yellow car. Can they get hooked up? Can they run together and stay in front of this pack?
Now, Schrader's running a lot faster than Rusty, so he'll blow by Rusty. And the pack he may time it right where Schrader will be okay, but I don't know about Rusty yet. We'll have to see.
John Andretti, Terry Labonte, Jimmy Johnson, Jeff Green making green flag pit stops while we watch the leaders.
And here comes Jerry Nadeau, the 25 car. He's on the inside of Sterling Marlin trying to take the lead. Ryan Newman decides to go with Nadeau.
And here comes Jeff Gordon into that picture. 24 car up to 4th.
Tell me when Jerry's coming.
Tell me when Jerry Nadeau...
About 2 laps, okay?
Yeah, Rusty trying to break.
And I'm impressed with Shauna Robinson in that 49 car. We saw the leaders go by her, put a lap down. Guess what? She repassed them.
Bill Elliott, Jeremy Mayfield, Casey Atwood.
25 on the spot, but he can't do it by himself.
All 3 on pit road right now, as is Jeffrey Bodine. Marty.
Jeremy Mayfield is in. They have been fighting a tight problem for most of the day, guys. They have not been as good as they thought they would be today. They're going to pull the fender out just a little bit on the left front, and a 4-tire change for the Dodge team.
How about Mark Martin? 6 cars sneaking into the picture. Where did he come from?
And Rusty's got to stay in front of these guys, BP, in case the yellow comes out, or he will be a lap down.
Oh, baby!
That was close.
No, that was so close. And Shauna